Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. This quote has driven Mark Schlott's 35-year candy career. He tells us 3/4 of the battle is showing up for work every day, being ready to conquer any issue, and learning from the results. Mark was born on January 26, 1967, in Reading, Pennsylvania. Growing up, he says his family did not have much, but his parents, Elmer and Marie, always made sure there were home-cooked meals on the table and clean clothes for Mark and his siblings, Sue and Dennis, to wear to school. I attribute my work ethic to my parents and my family, he says. My parents worked hard to support us. My mother was a waitress and my father worked in a steel mill. My older cousin, Bob Nowatarski, took me under his wing when I was in high school, which helped mold me into how I operate today. Here is an early picture of Mark. We can't confirm this, but it's quite possible he's working out a future licensing deal for an RM Polymer seasonal launch. With aspirations of being an electrical or mechanical engineer, Mark graduated from Reading Senior High School in 1984 and attended Penn State University Berks campus in Reading. He married Karen on January 27, 1987, after meeting at work. There isn't a photo from the event because Mark tells us they chose to forego a big wedding and instead put the money into building a new house. Together, they have 4 children, Brett, Laura, Anthony, and Ryan, and 3 grandchildren. Here is the family inside the courtroom in 1997 after adopting Anthony. And here is the entire extended family celebrating the adoption of Ryan 2 years earlier. Mark says that at the end of his career, he hopes people remember him as a family man first and foremost. A year before he and Karen married, Mark began his career at RM Polymer as a maintenance mechanic, recommended for the job by a family friend and longtime company employee. He says he was attracted to the company because it was a small business in the process of growing. In his first 10 years with the company, Mark progressed as a mechanic, and by 1996, he was a production supervisor when he was approached by company owner and 1991 Candy Hall of Fame inductee, Rich Palmer Jr. Rich offered then 29-year-old Mark, who had aspirations of tackling larger engineering and management assignments, an opportunity to commission a new molding line that a previous vendor had failed to properly bring online. Mark says this is one of the most memorable moments in his career. In a matter of 3 months, our team increased line production by 200% and produced a new decorated chocolate product. It truly changed my life, he says. He goes on to point out that Rich has had the greatest impact on his career. He has taught me so many things through the years. We have a great relationship through the good and the bad times. I will never be able to repay him. Following this success, Mark took on increasingly more responsibility at the company, being named Director of Continuous Improvement in 1998 and moving up to Director of Production Services in 2001. By 2002, Mark was plant manager at the company's Wyomissing facility and moved from Assistant Vice President of Operations to Vice President of Operations by 2003. Today, he is Executive Vice President of Operations and Chief Operating Officer. We say what we do and we do what we say, Mark points out, adding, "It's as simple as that. Our integrity is the most important aspect of our business." Here we see what Mark calls the RM Polymer 2019 Sales Dream Team. They appear to be a very serious bunch, and one is making a questionable fashion choice. As Mark's career advanced, so did his involvement in the industry and his community. He joined the NCA Board of Directors in 2008, serving until 2011, and was named to the board again in 2019. He has also spent time on the association's Public Policy Committee, Ruby Award Selection Committee, and the Candy Pack. A regular participant in NCA's Washington Forum for more than 15 years, he was recognized in 2019 by the association as Advocate of the Year, recognizing his dedication to publicly supporting the confectionery industry. In 2020, Mark was nominated for the Kettle Award. In the local community, Mark sits on the Berks County Workforce Development Board and chairs the group's Worker and Training Committee. Here we see a JV high school basketball team he coached to a championship in 1990. He is on the Greater Reading Chamber Alliance Board of Directors and has served on the Greater Reading Chamber of Commerce Board for nearly 20 years, holding various committee posts. He has also participated in the Berks County United Way Leadership Program for 20 years. Mark says one of the biggest day-to-day challenges he currently faces is the changing retail landscape as e-commerce becomes more popular. He also cautions others in the industry. People always follow the leader. If you don't like what is being done, you need to look at yourself. Building our company into one of the top contract manufacturers of chocolate in the country, having employed thousands of people with great benefits and family-sustaining wages through all these years, are some of the accomplishments I'm most proud of, he says. He encourages industry members to be more involved to assure the category's continuing success. Shown here with Sweet Candy's Rick Kay and Just Born's David Yale, Mark says, "I have met incredibly great people in our industry." And he urges others, network, participate in the NCA and industry events, but more importantly, create something that is fun and different that makes you stand out from the rest. He acknowledges that he and R.M. Palmer play just a small part in the industry, but he is gratified to know that they are making a difference. Our industry is incredibly important to our state and local community, he tells us. We have a responsibility to ensure we maintain these jobs that serve not only our employees, but other businesses throughout our communities. We are pleased to welcome 1991 Candy Hall of Fame inductee Rich Palmer, who will help us induct Mark into the Candy Hall of Fame.